Jai Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Eti Namine Advaita Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Yes, little bit. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanajari Yamunatira Vanajari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jai Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda Bhagavan Ki Jai, Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Ki Jai, Shri Shri Gaurnitai Ki Jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Thank Thank you for allowing me to sit on the Vyasasan and speak some words on Bhagavad Gita, Song of Krishna. Today we're reading from chapter 2, contents of the Gita summarized, text 34. Yep, there we go. So you can repeat after me, word by word, and then we can go through the verse together. Akirting chapi bhutani, akirting chapi bhutani, katayishyanti te avyayam, katayishyanti te avyayam, sambhavitasya chakirtir, sambhavitasya chakirtir, maranad atirichyate, maranad atirichyate, akirtim chapi bhutani, katayishyanti te vyayam, sambhavistasya chakirtir, maranadatirichyate, akirtim chapi bhutani, katayishyanti te vyayam, sambhavitasya chakirtir, maranadatirichyate. Prabhus. Akirtim chapi bhutani, akayishyanti te vyayam, sambhavitasya chakirtir, maranadatirichyate. Akirtim chapi bhutani, katayishyanti te vyayam, sambhavitasya chakirtir, maranadatirichyate. Word for word. Akirtim, infamy. Cha, also. Api, over and above. Bhutani, all people. Katayishyanti, will speak. Te, of you. Avyayam, forever. Sambhavitasya, for a respectable man. Cha, also. Akirti, ill fame. Maranat, then death. Atirichyate, becomes more. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhicharananda Vrinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. People will always speak of your infamy, and for a respectable person, dishonor is worse than death. Just to repeat, people will always speak of your infamy, and for a respectable person, dishonor is worse than death. Purport. Both as friend and philosopher to Arjuna, Lord Krishna now gives his final judgment regarding Arjuna's refusal to fight. The Lord says, Arjuna, if you leave the battlefield before the battle even begins, people will call you a coward. And if you think that people may call you bad names, but that you will save your life by fleeing the battlefield, then my advice is that you do better to die in the battle. For a respectable man like you, ill fame is worse than death. So you should not flee for fear of your life. Better to die in the battle. That will save you from the ill fame of misusing my friendship and from losing your prestige in society. So the final judgment of the Lord was for Arjuna to die in the battle and not withdraw. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yatapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So please allow me to ask for your blessings and for the blessings of those who are watching online, the seniors in the temple behind the curtains dressing the deities. Please allow me to ask for your blessings also. Thank you to all of you to allow me to have an opportunity to speak some words to glorify Krishna, devotional service, and the devotees. So as we mentioned, we're speaking on chapter 2, contents of the Gita summarized. And there's one story I'd like to begin with. There's one guru and his disciple went to ask him for the road of success. And so the guru didn't say a word, he just pointed to a direction. That's the road of success. The guru just pointed to a direction. And so the disciple man, or the excited disciple, ran off and he got to that so-called point and he splat. And a loud splat was heard, like, he just hit himself. So then the man limped back to the guru and he was stunned. He was thinking he found the road of perfection. But the guru said, okay, why are you back here? So he pointed to the direction again. And the man, okay, this is the guru, he's speaking. Let me follow his direction. Let me get more enthusiastic. So he went to the same place again, and he faithfully walked off until a louder splat was heard. He hit another obstacle. And so this time he came bloody and broken back to his guru. And obviously upset, he said to the guru, I followed your instruction, but I was splattered. I received an obstacle, and now I'm come back to you suffering and hurt. So this time, he's asking the guru where he can actually find success, because now he doesn't believe that success is in that area. He's just hit himself twice, and he's bloody and bruised. So then the guru points to the direction again and says, just after that splat, that's the road to success. Keep going, the guru says, because that road is still the road to success, but it's laid with thorns also, to test us, to purify us. So we can, why am I saying this is actually that Arjuna is like that disciple. He's asking Krishna, what is this? What is the road? What is the understanding? What is the success I need to have? And Krishna gives him argument after argument, reply, answer after answer. And Arjun comes back and says, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. He gives him reasons again and again and again. But later, as we see in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna allows him to go through these obstacles together. The Guru goes with the disciple through these obstacles, through karma kanda, sakam karma, karma yoga, nishkam karma yoga, to bhakti yoga. So the Guru is actually that person who we just make a little bit of effort, try and follow the directions, but the Guru really does everything. So, to begin with, I wanted to go on to a point where Srila Prabhupada says that if you leave the battlefield before the battle even started, people will call you a coward. So I wanted to understand what cowardice actually means. So cowardice is seen all throughout this material world, but it's especially given, cowardice is given dishonor when a person is very respectable in society. For example, if in Kurukshetra battle, Duryodhan wanted to switch sides, what would his people think? But if a soldier in Duryodhan's army, very, background, maybe a cook or a chef, he wanted to switch sides, he wouldn't be defamed to the limit that Duryodhan would be defamed, because the status that a Kshatriya has, especially likes of Duryodhan, has so much reputation to protect. So then this dishonor comes when you have honor in the first place. So Arjun, according to Krishna, and as we well know, has a great heritage. He's son of Kunti, son of Indra. As we know, Kunti begot 5 children, and she used this blessing to get these 5 children also, or no, 3 children. And so she used Indra, and Arjun came. So Kunti and Indra are both in Kshatriya families, and Kshatriya families are very noble. They have, we hear in the Bhagavad Gita, they have all these good qualities: honor, generosity, leadership, bravery, courage. So he has a great heritage, and Kshatriyas should therefore, with this such great heritage, with this reputation, they should never flee the battle. This is Krishna's statement. He's saying, Soryam, Tejo, Dhritir, Dakshyam, heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity, and leadership are the natural qualities of a Kshatriya. And I was considering that just as a devotee transcends the mode of material nature, we also have qualities that belong in every of the varnas. That's what we're learning in Bhakti Shastra. We can actually transcend these modes of nature when we take full shelter of Krishna. And under the direction of Guru and Krishna, we can actually gain these qualities like generosity, leadership, heroism. As we see, we're going out in Sankirtan fighting off material nature. We're putting a war against Maya. That takes a lot of courage. Reading the Vedas and practicing cleanliness, truthfulness, we're practicing as a Brahmana. Cleaning the toilets or the sinks and washing the dishes, we're practicing the Shudra. So we can see that devotees under the guidance of Guru and Krishna are transcending these modes of material nature, and therefore can imitate or utilize the other varnas to serve Krishna and to make the example. So we've come to Krishna consciousness, devotees have come to Krishna consciousness, and therefore they are also very respected in the Vedas. In many of Srila Prabhupada's books, Srila Prabhupada constantly glorifies devotees. The highest platform, highest yoga one can perform, bhakti yoga. Everything in a devotee's life, any angle you come to a devotee's life, it is the highest. They're having all the bliss, they're happier than everyone. They're more sheltered than everyone. We have the most opulent food. We have the best philosophy. We dance the most amazing way. We have the most beautiful deities. So in this way, we can see in all aspects of a devotee, we are, actually in a Krishna conscious person, or even in ISKCON, the things that Srila Prabhupada have given us at the topmost in all circumstances. So even where even devotees are glorified in many of the Puranas. And Srila Prabhupada mentions only one who has the topmost intelligence can be a devotee in the first place. So what does that say? When we read those things, are we devotees? Do we have that intelligence? That's the question we can ask ourselves. Are we that respected? Are we that glorified? Am I that person, or am I practicing also? This is things that are prescribed for practicing devotees to become pure devotees, or things that are describing pure devotees, not us. So there's two aspects. Sometimes Srila Prabhupada talks about what we can do in the purport. Sometimes Srila Prabhupada talks about, he describes a pure devotee, what to achieve. But we've received this great opportunity to come to Krishna consciousness, and as we know, when we come to Krishna consciousness and when we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, when we worship Krishna, when we surrender to Krishna, there is no more duty to perform. And there's a lovely verse, Yan Nama Shruti Matrena. I'll just read this out. Yan Nama Shruti Matrena Puman Bhavati Nirmala Dasya Tirtha Padakim Va Dashanam Avashishyate. A man becomes purified simply by hearing the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose lotus feet create holy places of pilgrimage. Therefore, what remains to be attained by those who have become his servants? So, devotees are glorified. We're respected. In the Vedas so much, this quality of devotee. So we should also not misuse this title. Just as Arjuna should not misuse the title of a Kshatriya, a devotee should not misuse the title of a practicing devotee. Having the opportunity to come to Krishna consciousness, utilize the greatest gift of the Vedas, Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishta, Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto mattas mritirgyanam papohanam cha vedesha sarve aham eva vedya vedanta krit veda ved eva chaham. The purpose of all the Vedas is to know Krishna, and we're worshipping Krishna. The Kshatriyas have all these qualities, and they're supposed to perform those duties as well. So we should also never flee our duty, or choose to fall, as Arjuna is giving so many reasons to fall from his title also, due to material compassion. Devotee can have so many reasons to leave ISKCON, for example. Oh, I've heard something about these devotees, I don't like them. So many reasons, and I'll come to that in a point. But we should never misuse our friendship with Krishna. And what do I mean by that? Srila Prabhupada says, for this will save you from the ill fame of misusing my friendship and from losing your prestige in society. So when I read that, I understood also that we should not also misuse the friendship that Krishna has given us. Krishna is Suhridam Sarvabhutanam. He's the well-wisher, benefactor of all living entities, the Supreme Lord of all planets and all demigods. And He's in every atom, He's in all of our hearts. He's responsible for our curiosity. He's not responsible for our curiosity, but He gives the answers to our curiosity. When we finally become curious about life, Krishna comes and says, here, I give you a guru, come to me. And that can only be done by intuition, which Paramatma gives. So many things Paramatma is in charge of. These fine, subtle emotions, intuition, guilt, where do they come from? They come from like the highest intelligence Paramatma is giving. This slowly Paramatma Krishna carves out our way back to Him. So how can we not call Him our best friend when He's allowed us to come to the path of Krishna consciousness? Satijya is a quality, one of the three qualities of a best friend, and that means he knows you. So if you want to make good friends in spiritual life, find people who know you. And who better who knows you than Krishna himself? Bahunam Bahuni me vyatitani bahunan janma. I forgot the verse exactly, but many births both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot, O subduer of the enemy. So Krishna is saying to Arjuna, in the Bhagavad Gita here, just in chapter 4, I think verse 11. He's saying, so many births you've taken, and I've also taken. Both you and I have also passed, but he can remember everything. So indirectly, Krishna is saying, I've known you for this long time immemorial. I've known you, but you have been forgetting everything. So Krishna, in the same way, he's been in our hearts, next to the soul, as we're traveling subtle body from body to body. He's traveling with us, and he understands where we've been, what we want, what we know, where we want to go. He understands everything. So what better friend than Krishna we can have in our lives? The second quality of the friend is snehasya. He loves you. And every day in Bhagavad Gita class or Srimad Bhagavatam class, we understand just how much Krishna loves us. Think about our basic needs in human life: food, water. From a seed comes a tree, a plant. Plant grows into a tree. We know the six stages of growth in the plant. So the plant goes to a tree. The tree bears fruits. And those fruits have seeds. Those seeds have trees. The trees have fruits. The fruits have seeds. The seeds have trees. And we can go on. Who made this arrangement? Who allowed us to have so many trees in the world who give us oxygen? We breathe out carbon dioxide. We can just see everything that's happening. And one amazing example, I think in the scientific basis of Krishna consciousness, it says that the water in the ocean, due to the heat of the sun, gets evaporated. And that water vapor turns into clouds. And in the clouds, the water is purified, moves along the earth, and releases that same water to everyone. So who can make such an arrangement? So this is Krishna showing just how much he loves us. When the son leaves the father still provides everything for the son's desires. Gives money, food, clothes. But indirectly, the son doesn't know. Until he learns that he's a prince. And he has a father who's the king. And the king is showering him with everything. Then he can understand how much love that king is giving him. Krishna is the supreme king. And the last quality of a friend is ashraya, one who can help you. So first is one who knows you. Satijya, one who knows you. Second is snehasya, who loves you, who cares for you, who wants your spiritual benefit more than you want your spiritual benefit, who wants to help you so much to go closer to Krishna. That is a person who really loves you, not false bodily compassion. And ashraya, one who can help you, one who is a little bit advanced in Krishna consciousness, who has knowledge of Krishna, who has realizations, and who can also bring you towards Krishna, because he has also a taste, or she has also a taste. So these three qualities are devotees who we can really rely on, but we understand Krishna is the fountainhead of all these qualities. So if we can't rely on certain people in Krishna consciousness, we should always be firmly fixed just to remember Krishna has these three qualities in complete. And who says we can't rely on anyone in Krishna consciousness? We have so many advanced devotees, so many wonderful devotees. Srila Prabhupada's here in every temple. Who says we don't have Krishna conscious devotees helping us? So the point is, Arjuna is making these arguments to allow him guilt-free passes to fall down voluntarily, using his intelligence and evidence that's given to him through authorities to give him a guilt-free pass. So we can also do that in our spiritual life. We can also choose to fall down. We can also feel like, okay, I'm good. I'm too good for this process, you know. Or actually, no, they're not treating me right, and I deserve respect much more than they know. I'm actually the best at devotional service. I'm actually the best person in the temple when it comes to serving Krishna. I have the best consciousness. Therefore, what is this? This is pride. And as we know, pride leads to a fall. Before a fall comes pride. So we can indirectly or directly choose to fall down from Krishna consciousness by bad consciousness, bad intentions. And fall down, we should know, means we've taken to spiritual life, but we've stopped the process. Fall down literally just means we have stopped the process, we've maybe broken a principle, or we stopped chanting 16 rounds. This is the definition of fall down. And as we know in the Bhagavad Gita, I'll just read out this verse. Dhyayato Vishyan Pumsha Sa Saigas Desho Pajayate. While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment from them. From such attachment, lust develops, and from lust, anger arises. From anger, perfect delusion, and from delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost. And when intelligence is lost, one falls down. So this is the background principle of why we're falling down. It leads to that verse. Every other reason leads to that verse. And as we know, the main reason anyone can fall down from Krishna consciousness is not being careful of avoiding offenses. Or not engaging enough to try and get rid of them. As we said, pride comes before a fall. And another consideration is there. We're in Krishna consciousness, but maybe we live far away from the temple and we're not engaging ourselves in hearing and chanting enough. We're not building our relationship constantly with the Guru. We're not continuously establishing that relationship again and again, remembering his Vani, praying to the Guru. We may not be doing those things that have been taught to us by Srila Prabhupada. One thing I heard Prayojan Prabhu say is that over-eagerness in spiritual life, yes, people have when they come to spiritual life, they want to go straight to Golok Vrindavan tomorrow. And they'll do anything. They think that they can fast. And some devotees can. Some devotees can actually pull it off, stay the whole night and things like this. But if we notice, some devotees are a little bit too eager and not considering the needs of their body versus the eagerness that they have. So maybe, in Nirjala fast, you see one person just, like a zombie, just walking back and forth. Oh, I'm fasting. I'm staying up all night. But what is that? It's not doing anything that's beneficial for devotional service. Yes, you're fasting. You may get some result, but is it increasing your attachment to Krishna? Is it devotional service in that way? The point of Nirjala fast, or the point of fasting at all, is to increase our attachment or increase our time to spend for Krishna. And one big reason that there is a chance to fall down later on in our spiritual practice is because of lack of training in the beginning. And this is something that comes into devotee care. When a new bhakta is there in the temple and they're just, they're so excited to practice, but there's not enough love and attention given to them. There's not enough training. There's not enough role models to give to that devotee. When a child is 5 years old, or 0 to 5, it's said in the Vedas that you should give him just love, or her just love. That is because through that age gap, they will develop character. They will get character due to the love that they've been given by the mother. And then from 5 to 10, or the family, the 5 to 10, they're given discipline. This is practiced in the Gurukul. They're given discipline from ages 5 to 10. Hardcore austerity discipline. What is right, what is wrong. They have the intelligence after 5 years old to understand these things. And then from 10 to 15, they're given freedom. So we can see when a devotee comes into the temple also, the same formula should be given. Love first. We should give full attention to that devotee, making sure that they feel loved, they feel cared for, because that's why they've come to Krishna in the first place. Then we should give them the discipline, and then we can give the freedom. So it's just something I'm thinking about, because lack of training is also a reason devotees tend to fall down, or we hear stories. We sometimes preach to people until they're initiated. Okay, they've done everything. They're on their own. They have their own aeroplane now. They're driving. Well, what's more for me to do? I've got one more tick on my preaching list. You know, I brought this devotee to Krishna consciousness. What's more for me to do for that person? These are just some things to consider. But at the end, it's if we fall down, we actually should understand that we chose to fall down. We've come to Krishna consciousness. When you have such a great opportunity, when you see a diamond on the road and you miss it, who is there to blame? There's nothing. There's all the concrete is on the road, but one single diamond, huge rock, invaluable rock is there, and you just you just touch it, you feel it, but I'm okay. Then you just walk off. Who else is there to blame? So then the fall down. If devotees come to that position where they're feeling like, I can't do this anymore, they should first understand they have free will. They're in charge of their karma. And they shouldn't blame others. Oh, he made me do this because, or maybe, I've done this wrong, but it's actually her fault or his fault. So actually, I'm not the cause. I'm under the modes of material nature. Or no, actually, Krishna's done this. We make that mistake many times. Krishna put me in suffering. I didn't do it myself. Krishna made me decide to fall down. I didn't do it by myself. Because he's a controller. He's a supreme lord of everything. Aham sarvasya. He's a source of all causes. He's a cause of all causes. What did I do? But actually, we have free will. That's the only thing we do have. So with this free will, we should first admit that we are the ones to blame. And with this admittance, with this honesty that we have blooped, we just messed up or made an offense, we'll have the power to make a difference. But if we think, okay, it's her fault or his fault, the power isn't there to make a difference by yourself. A little guilt is helpful. When you do something wrong, naturally you'll feel just a little bad. But if you tend to over-increase or use excessive guilt, you can cause yourself to go into a cycle of depression or guilt and depression. Oh, I'm too fallen to practice Krishna consciousness. I can't do it anymore. I give up because I'm just too fallen. I can't stop making offenses. This is the negative type of guilt. But actually there's a positive type of guilt. And that's just a little bit of guilt. Just a little bit of guilt can help you become enthusiastic to make a difference in that specific offense or specific problem that you're having in Krishna consciousness. And when you have that little piece of guilt, you start to see that you're in power. And when you have power, you can either go left, right, forward, or straight. So you have to choose a direction. With that new desire that you have, with that new freedom, with that new free will, that just came from that little bit of guilt, you can power your desire straight towards Krishna and nothing else. Because now you have a little bit of power. You haven't overused your guilt and to feel depressed, but you've understood that it's your problem and now where to go with that problem. What can you do? You can build enthusiasm at this stage. And you can just aim, vyavasayatmaka buddhi, just one pointed intelligence towards lotus feet of Krishna and nothing else. The acharyas also practice something in their songs. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he writes, I'm a sinner, I'm the greatest sinner. Other people's happiness is my distress, their distress is my pleasure. But at the end of his song, every single time he writes, he tries his best to surrender to Krishna. He's honest. He's saying, this is where I am, but my vyavasayatmaka buddhi, my intelligence, my fixed desire is simply just to go carrying on towards your lotus feet. Krishna, please help me. I'm sinful. I have this great opportunity. So please let me carry on endeavoring and never let me fall down again. But not to say, I give up because I'm too fallen. I can't practice this anymore. That's the opposite of the guilt. So we'll try use positive guilt. is just wrap it up a little bit also. Just to end on one point. There's 2 verses we can meditate on whenever you feel like you need a kick in your Krishna consciousness, or you've done something wrong and you need to boost yourself immediately. And there's only 2 things you can meditate on. The first thing is Prakrite kriyamanani gune karmani sarvasha. I have this false ego which I'm just completely absorbed in. And this is the root of all problems. And I have very little choice what to do because I'm under such control. You can see it in that way. You can say, I'm under the mode so hardly, they're penetrating my every desire to go to Krishna. But the one that I think that is a little bit easier, or helps me in my Krishna consciousness at least, whenever I feel like I'm losing the taste, or going through a certain problem, or not following as strictly as I can, it's ye yata mam prapadyante, tam stateva bhajamyaham, mama vartmanu vartante, manushya partha sarvashaha. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O Partha. So where you have an opportunity that Krishna has given you due to your suffering, which is just reactions of the karmic events in our last life or last lives, we can use it as an opportunity to really drive our desire to surrender more. If you have an opportunity that, or if you're getting kicked down by Maya, you surrender to Krishna twice as harder. If you don't surrender to Krishna twice as harder, then you can just imagine Maya is going to have more an opportunity. Yes, you can make the ratio equal. Yeah, one Maya, one Krishna. But every time Maya comes in your head, or Maya comes and presents herself to you, you can surrender twice as hard, 3 times as hard, 5 times as hard to Krishna, and you'll see Krishna will respond. Krishna will say, wow, I'm throwing this at him to purify him, and instead of being down and beaten, bloody like the disciple in the beginning, he's coming back twice as harder, twice as stronger. Let me help him even more. So just to recap, Krishna is saying, people will always speak of your infamy, and for a respectable person, dishonor is worse than death. So we went through a few points that that Kshatriyas are respectable, and also devotees, because of the opportunity that they've been given in Krishna consciousness, they're also respectable. Kshatriyas should never flee from a fight, and devotees should also never flee from Krishna consciousness. We have such a great opportunity. And when Maya kicks you down once, just go step on that stairs two times. You have the stairs just in front of you, you got kicked down, just go a little bit further. Just keep on going. As the Guru says to the disciple, the road to success is after that splat, is after the obstacle. Just keep going.